We don't need legal, right?
Chris Engel is
You're legal, I forgot. I didn't know who you were. but
Welcome, Chris.
I have met you before, so, all right.
That's Randy. I'm Kate.
Yep, she does the introductions. All right, we will call the Westfield Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order for June 26, 2019. Please note the presence of quorum.
We do have a quorum.
Very good. First up is consideration of approval for minutes from May 22nd, 2019. Having had opportunity to read those minutes, are there any additions, corrections, or comments?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 22nd, 2019 meeting.
I will second that. Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 1, minutes of May 22nd, 2019 as written. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to contracts and agreements. Action item number 2, NDOT LPA project coordination contract for East Street North Extension.
Yeah, so as you know, we're doing the East Street North Extension from 196 to State Road 38. This is just a standard LPA NDOT agreement that we have to sign, just specifying that NDOT is giving us federal highway dollars as part of the project. We need to sign it just so we can get started on right-of-way acquisition. So,
Nothing different or
no,
notable
same as
about
any
it that you
other-
want to?
Yep, same as any other contract, same language.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve action item number 2, NDOT LPA project coordination contract for East Street North Extension.
I will second that. Upon that, we have a motion made second on action item number 2, NDOT LPA project coordination contract for East Street North Extension. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 3, Monon Crossing Road Impact Fee Credit Agreement.
So Monon Crossing is a development that is under design on the south side of State Road 32, west of Wheeler, east of Oak Ridge. It's in this section here.
So right, go down. Keep going. Nope. I'm just trying to get my bearings. So
Sorry.
It's
31,
there's the
31,
old
32.
Rickers. Yeah, there's
Yep.
the Rickers, right?
Right here.
Yep.
And then across the street is in this.
Okay, it has a couple houses on the front edge of the 32,
It
right?
does for now. Yep.
Yep, okay, thank
so
you.
That's
Sorry.
Monon Crossing.
How many homes are planned for that area?
So it's actually a commercial development.
Oh, okay,
So there's going to
sorry.
be a shopping center, retail building on the east side, and then a fast casual or fast food restaurant on the west side as planned. They're going to do the retail center first, and then the restaurant will come in second. This is a road impact fee credit agreement. Per our State Road 32 overlay, they're dedicating 30-foot greenway and building the frontage trail along State Road 32. That is road impact fee creditable, and how we do it with any other development that is abiding by the State Road 32 overlay. And then additionally,
Who's the developer?
it is Mid-Atlantic Properties. Midland Atlantic Properties, excuse me. So they have the trail that they're going to be constructing, as well as a little pocket park next to the proposed pedestrian bridge over State Road 32. So this is infrastructure that is road impact fee creditable per our road impact fee ordinance, and the amount of $47,497 for the first phase. For the retail center, they're paying about $73,000 in road impact fees, and then an additional probably $150 to $160 when the fast food restaurant or.
Are there
fast casual
expected
comes.
tenants for those?
They've had discussions. I don't know exactly which tenants are going to be in there, but it's going to be a retail land use. So they're going to do the retail center first. It'll generate about $73,000 of that. 47's impact fee creditable, and then when the fast casual or fast food restaurant comes through, that'll be an additional probably $160 or so in road impact fees. This is just a road impact fee credit agreement for the $47,000, and they will pay in full when they pull their building permit, and then once they construct the trail and pocket park to our standards, we will credit them back that money. So
What's immediately west of the fast casual food location?
Sharon Williams is the owner of this parcel in between the trails and the Monon Crossing.
Oh, so that we're
And then the
talking.
car wash is next.
Yeah. So this parcel is not included in Monon Crossing, nor is it included in the trails.
All right, so that's Sharon. I got that.
Yep.
Are we east of Sharon or west of Sharon?
We're east of Sharon.
Oh, okay.
For this, yeah, for this
So
development.
those 6
Burger
parcels
King's
that you
west, right
see,
next to
that
Drew.
is accessed by Spruce Lane.
What is? Oh, that is? Oh, okay.
I was on the wrong side of Sharon.
Got it, okay.
And you do not want to be on the wrong side of Sharon. Telling you. Been there.
When you say retail, so that is, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure. Can you give me an idea of what would constitute retail, like a gas station?
No, it's not a gas
Okay.
station. It's like probably similar to what is going in at Grassy Branch in 32, where you've got like a Verizon store and
Great Clips
That
and
type of-
Smoothie
We're talking about
King.
that type of shopping.
Well, Smoothie King's,
shopping
wouldn't that be a restaurant though?
Yeah, it would, but that type of building is what's going.
I see,
going in
okay.
there.
Their zoning allows them to have retail on this corner with a quick service. They could have done it either way.
Right.
They elected to do this as the retail component
Okay.
and the quick service to come later adjacent to it. So those 6 properties will combine, they'll have a right-in, right-out entrance where Spruce Lane is today.
Say that to me again, Jeremy, because that was my
So
next
you
question
see
about
this-
32,
You see this block over here that is white?
on the left side.
Yeah, on the
Yes?
left-hand side, that's where the quick service will be. 32 overlay requires some setbacks, minimum setbacks, so they'll be kind of offset a little bit. The retail shop will have, what is it, 3 or 4 spots in it?
4, I believe.
4 different shops. We don't know exactly what they are. Impact fees calculated out as a retail shop of 11,000 square feet. That's where the 70, whatever John was talking about, fee comes, which they pay up front. That fee stays the same. They'll come back in and fill with tenants later. This credit is something they're entitled to by statute and ordinance. That
I'm not having a problem with
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry, I'm just asking you questions about this development.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with
We would
the
have
action
to.
item. I'm just wanting to make sure I understand. So there's access to the building off 32, but there's not access off the building along the east side.
That's correct.
Correct.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
right in, right out of on 32.
there will be a new 175th Street alignment to
Right,
the
behind
south.
it, yes,
Yep.
and you'll be able to access it
The
that way.
Monon Bridge will run between it and Wheeler Road.
This line work here that I'm highlighting with
Yeah.
my,
Right, I
that's the
see.
bridge. That's
Yeah.
the pedestrian bridge, and then the Monon Trail comes through.
Yep,
This is the future 175th Street.
So they're getting credit for the Greenway Trail and that little pocket park that is right there. And then
where's the
trail-
pocket park, sorry?
Right there.
That,
So yeah, a little node with some benches and
Some
things.
benches, some bike
Oh,
racks.
okay.
It's a nice addition with the proximity to Monon.
Sure.
To have the bike racks and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It adds to the infrastructure.
and what's the timeline on the road, 170, on the south, yes?
So it was supposed to be done by now. The rain has stalled them a bit this spring. Last I heard, it could be August or September.
It'll be done
it's
before the
complete.
building is?
Yeah, they need some of this
It's
infrastructure.
under construction currently.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen them out there.
they need some of the infrastructure, water main extension, before they can actually construct this building anyway. So it'll be
Okay.
done before.
Okay. Sorry,
Good.
I had so many questions.
No, that's all right. Just come to the planning commission meeting. I will make a motion to approve action item number 3, Monon Crossing Road Impact Fee Credit Agreement.
Second?
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 3, Monon Crossing Road Impact Fee Credit Agreement. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 4, Development Agreement, City of Westfield and DLM LLC.
Okay, so I'll get over here on the map. This is, you'll have to track with me a little bit. DLM LLC, which is Dan Moyer, the company that he owns this parcel, and all the way over to Greeks.
One more time again,
So
sorry.
from the cul-de-sac.
31?
Yeah, this is 31, 32's up here.
Right,
Maybe
okay, I
roundabout
know where
at the
we are,
school.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we're building a road through here, which is part of this conversation as well. So Moyer owns all of this.
The old restaurant?
The old Park Street Pub, which is
Yeah.
gone now.
Yes.
This
The
was
parking.
a rental with a beauty shop in
Yes,
it, which is also still there. And then he owns this residential property over to Greek's Restaurant.
Okay,
He also owns Hardee's. There's 4
Mm-hmm.
or 5, 6 properties in that general area
Mm-hmm.
that assembled to make the Hardee's property. So he owns all of those things. We are proposing that in exchange for the use of his land for parking here and land for parking here, once Grand Junction goes to construction, we would have essentially a lease on these properties in exchange for paying his property taxes until he comes back and develops.
And when you say parking for are you talking about construction vehicles?
No, this is actual restaurant parking, visitor.
I thought you
parking.
said when it was under construction.
Yeah, so when it goes under construction, our only temporary lot that we have
see what you're saying.
will go away.
So that, that'll go away.
So this
And-
goes away, this gets fenced off, this is under construction, we're trying to shift everything to a lot here that already exists,
Mm-hmm.
which we are expanding and including the Hardee's lot.
So
We're
what-
adding lighting.
And we're adding lighting, right?
And so we'll pay the property taxes
So-
on those properties?
Yeah.
Okay. And are there other, investments we need to make in that property other than the lighting?
Nothing that we haven't already made, but the part of the agreement is that any investments that we make are at our cost. We have already invested here, we've already put some stone in there, we're working on re-illuminating all the lighting that used to exist so that the parking lots will be lit as well.
Is this a permanent solution?
No, this is a temporary solution. This is an agreement for a 2-year contract with 6-month extensions, as long as everyone agrees to it. When it gets a bit more complex, as you see, this is the Westfield Boulevard extension project. From there down, you're aware of
The
that.
Tom Roush?
Correct, down to Tom Roush here. And then this is the Midland Trail connection that we were working to constructing.
Where is
also.
that? I'm sorry, where
This
is
is
that?
right behind Restaurant Row, Mill Street.
Yes,
All
sorry.
the restaurants. This is the new road, so it would connect Midland Trail over to Poplar, which would then go down and over the
Is that his property too, the Midland piece?
He, as the adjacent landowner, he has rights to it.
Got it.
So he also owns this purple square, which we need to build the road on.
And, sorry, again, where's the purple
It
square?
is adjacent to what was the old hair salon.
It's behind it? Or next
right
to
here.
it?
West of it.
Oh, I'm
This
sorry.
piece right here. So
Got
you
it.
see this is current Poplar Street.
Right.
That's where the road will be constructed, and then obviously on further south.
Yes.
So in exchange for this piece, we are committing to, well, and also, exchange for this square plus the dedication of this Midland Trail corridor that he has an ownership right to. We are going to trade the future or the existing right of way from, see, this is where Hardee's is. This is the old turnaround that only accesses Dynafog.
Which is no
Which
longer
is-
in business.
There's a tenant in there that
Oh.
is, there's a whole transaction was part of the Grand Millennium Center development that is underway right now as well. So in exchange for the piece that we have to buy, we are giving to him, when appropriate, this piece of right of way and any claim we have to this section of the Midland Trail. So exchanging values. So we don't have value to that right of way, knowing that,
So is this a negotiation that we've
is
landed
a-
on, or is this?
yeah, we've been working on this for a year. Yeah. So essentially we have two choices. We can buy this piece and we can buy this piece. We don't really have use for this once all of this redevelops into something else, because it won't any longer be accessing the Dynafog property, it will be accessed from the new road.
So why is this a better solution than just buying that piece of property?
I don't know that it's a better solution. It is a win-win situation. So him giving us access to parking that he doesn't have to do. in
Right, I'm
exchange
with
for
you
us
on
paying
that. I'm with you, and we pay the property taxes. You got me so far.
Yeah.
But the second piece is the one that I'm curious about.
So in the future, knowing that he owns all this property, he is going to redevelop this probably in conjunction with this whole square. We can't give him, cut off access to the residents here, so he's asked for this right away to be vacated in exchange for this when appropriate, which it could be 5 years from now.
And yeah, I think the value of what's shown in that shaded area is less valuable to us than what it would cost us to acquire
Right.
that square for the property.
That's your answer.
I think that's the short
The
answer.
the value in exchange is much cheaper. We already own this, he owns this, we need this, more than we need that, we're gonna trade it.
And it's a better deal
Yes.
to trade it.
It's more cost effective. for
More
us.
cost effective, yes.
Right.
Okay.
And later on, once this would be redeveloped, we would likely vacate that right away to the adjacent property owners anyway.
Anyway, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's, you can see the exhibit, which is inclusive of the parking area. Obviously, the road will come through here. Effectively, the agreement is we exchange right-of-ways and we lease the property for 2 years for the cost of the property taxes, which are currently assessed at right around $37,000 annually for 2 years, and then we'll extend depending on what transpires between now and then.
It's depending on what the Grand Millennium Project ends up being. Actually, obviously, the YMCA is not going to go there anymore. It's
Right.
going somewhere else. But part of that project, if it ends up being some type of a corporate headquarter type of thing and hotels, it was, one of the thoughts was that it might be a parking garage on that. So that might be a more permanent solution, just,
There will be a parking garage likely incorporated over there. So
Right.
the GMC development is, again, to orient you, right here's the road. GMC is this entire chunk, which is several acres. I can't remember exactly how many. That's 40, it's close to 100 acres. This we always envisioned as redeveloping too, so you can imagine this becoming a frontage economic corridor, and then all of this, inclusive of the Grand Millennium Center, all of this redeveloping with likely a parking garage here and potentially one somewhere else in development,
it'll be
depending on what it is.
huge.
What happens to the Midland, Jeremy? Does Midland
Sorry?
just kind of stop and then go down the road?
Yeah,
And then
so-
tie back into 169?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And then 169 will have a connector over to the Monon right here. So the
Gotcha.
Monon, you'll have a Monon Midland Loop connection, if you will.
Oh,
That will-
right there?
That will come either over to the Natalie Wheeler Trail in downtown, or it'll run so you have two options. It'll run up to the Midland there. There'll also be a connection, which is the Grassy Branch Trail that kind of runs behind the apartments and connects to Grand Junction here too. So the road and then those two connections really kind of start creating that Grand Junction.
Thank you, Jeremy.
You're welcome. Any questions with that? I know it's very confusing.
It is very confusing.
makes sense.
How are you going to explain it?
How are we gonna explain it?
He just did.
Well, when you sign this agreement, I'll be done explaining.
Right, that's what I'm
That would be
saying.
communications problem to,
No, I don't think so. The parking is absolutely needed and wanted.
People will be happy.
People will be
Yeah.
happy to have additional lighted parking down there, especially once they find it after the little lot goes away. Later on, hopefully, any kind of relinquishment of right-of-way will be shielded by a big, beautiful development that's happening.
Yeah, very popular spot in Westfield, and it will kill those businesses if there's not a parking
sure,
solution when the other goes
absolutely.
away.
Absolutely.
And that would be very unpopular.
Yes.
I would not want to be the person who did that.
I would then hand that to John.
Thank you.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve action item number 4, development agreement, City of Westfield, and DLM LLC.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to approve action item number 4, development agreement, City of Westfield, and DLM LLC. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good job, Jeremy. All right, on to the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion. Whoa, wait a minute.
sorry.
Chief may want to give some explanation.
I do, just for the record, more than anything. I definitely want to get their names. You were talking to me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, normally the consent agenda, I just go to a
Right.
vote, but when I saw that you were bringing new officers on,
Yeah, well, I'd like to, at least for the record, acknowledge the names of each officer. I'll tell you a little bit about them. So these 3 individuals, for approval to hire based off conditional offers that we are going to give, after they finish all aspects of the hiring process, they each have different things to do still, but they're almost done. But we feel pretty comfortable with offering them a job upon completion of everything that they have to do and fulfilling the obligation. Ethan Wygant, IU grad, back in 2010, actually. He's been a police officer for a while. He went to Washington DC Metro for a few years. Now he's at Bibb County, Georgia, which is, I believe, is Macon, Georgia. So he's the first one. The next one's Caden Gebhardt. He has his associate's degree in business, actually, and he's from Spring, Texas. Right now, he's not a police officer. He's actually a manager of a business. But we have talked to him, and and each one of these three have passed all their testing and everything, as far as written and physical. Robert Bonds is the third. He's a Boone County deputy for 2 years. He already had the state academy, so 2 out of 3 of these gentlemen have the academy already and will be able to start working really quick. Robert Bonds was a correction officer, and then he was a prison guard, and then he got the job at Boone County as a deputy a couple of years ago, and he's went through the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. So we're just waiting. Got a couple more things to do. None of these officers are Indiana PERF, so they'll have to go through the PERF pension board to get approved on that too. So looking forward, and I'll brief you on the other during my report.
Okay. I don't think any of the other items need discussion.
Nope.
All right, entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
I will second that. Motion made and seconded to approve the consent agenda as written. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to department reports. Chief Reed.
We can just kind of cruise through this. There's really not much here. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the other things that we got going on. So, let me just drive. There's just a couple ones. There's the big. This is, we're just counting right here, okay? This is a little comparison, just incident statistics for the months. We're running this actually, interestingly, a little bit down from last year. So you can kind of see, trying to look and see what's that blue is 18 and yellow is 19. So this month we've had it kind of caught up. Grand Park, we were busier last year. I don't know. I think, I guess because all the rainouts. Dead people, less people play with baseballs. And then that's just again a breakdown of our incidents. That big thing there is medical.
Yellow is in me, everything.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Me.
Base again, our alarms, residential. These things are all running about good anywhere from a dozen to 20 a month between the two. So no big names. Next month I will bring in some pieces, just kind of show you some stuff that we're doing in terms of building a standard of cover. And we'll kind of cover some what things called response reliability and kind of just show you kind of like what we're looking at, as opposed to just counting, right? And then really with that, that's all. That's really pretty much all we got again. You'll look, tracking on again our mutual aid pieces, what we get and what we receive. We did get a lot of help shut that down. We did get a lot of help on the IMMI thing. It came together really pretty well. I think we have some fine tuning in a couple of areas, but overall it went really, really quite well.
Good.
I think. Yeah, we had some messaging issues that we'll deal with, but outside of that, it went really quite well. So we're prepping for the 4th, right? Obviously, 4th of July and Colts Camp. I didn't make it to the meeting. I had 2-for-1 substitutions today for me up there, but that all should work pretty well. I mean, it's kind of, we already built the plan from last year, so we just have to kind of update it. I mean, the movement of the park will make a couple of changes, but it shouldn't be anything significant. Just hired Division Chief of Training probably a month or so ago, 2 months ago, a guy named Charles Johnson. He's from South Bend. Brought him down here. He's got, he has a tremendous amount of experience, not just on the training side of it, but hazmat teams, technical rescue teams, work performance evaluations, all that. He came with a nice resume, quite frankly. And then we just hired as well Patrick Hutchison. Patrick is our new EMS director, and he is came from IEMS, was there for 20 plus years. So very well connected in the medical community, and will be very helpful to us in terms of, I think, really kind of taking the next step from an EMS, from being, I think, really we're a pretty good EMS provider right now, but we need to become an excellent service, which includes community paramedicine components. He'll do a very nice job of bringing all of those people, all of those pieces together for us. 2 promotions, Jason Maynard and Mike Wallace, just promoted as of the 22nd to captain.
Can we talk afterwards about the medical person who was hired? Sure. Yeah.
All right. And again, I appreciate from fire and police, the response on 531. It was incredible. So very well done. Thank you very much.
Thank
We
you.
had a busy 3 weeks, and then the next Friday we crashed a bus on purpose.
Yeah.
And I got to work with your guys. That was kind of a closed loop at the end.
good.
We did a bus crash, had 200 guests out, national media. It'll be coming up on Dateline. I don't think that one's came out yet. The limousine crash came out, but not that one maybe. But we did a different kind of a crash. We rolled a bus over on its side. It didn't come all the way over, and it went much further forward than we thought, and once again almost hit our building. But when it was done destroying Jersey barriers and finally stopped, we had scheduled later in the afternoon to have the fire department come out and do extraction. And I got to be some of the few people besides Westfield Fire who was allowed to be out there for that. So I got to interact with them as they cut open the back of the bus. They extracted some of the test dummies, and then they took 2 holes through the roof. So what that did was, number one, for our Cape guys, they didn't have to drag the dummies out, right? They were thrilled. But for the firefighters, they got actual hands-on experience with their tools, like cutting apart a school bus. Some of the guys that had the training, some hadn't. So now a lot more of the guys. So from a public safety aspect, those type of training events, when we can work together on those, enhances their ability to react to the real situation. God forbid should it happen sometime. So
Yeah.
it was a very nice interaction that we had, and appreciate you guys coming out and doing that. So that was good.
You do that annually?
We're up to probably 3 or 4 buses a year now. That was, I think, number 30 that we crashed total. But there's some type of test going on. The next Friday, they crashed a Cadillac into a Blazer, which exploded. And they were out again 3 Fridays in a row. The only one expected was the one in the middle. So some unexpected things. We do that all the time.
Right.
This never happens. At 67 miles an hour rear end, it exploded. So that wasn't training, that was for real. But typically every week we're crashing or smashing something.
Yeah.
Need to get out there.
All right, next up, Chief Rush.
Yeah, back to the manpower thing. So with these 3 that you just approved, bearing that they pass everything and accept the offer, you still need to hire 2 more this year. Bob Mitchell retired in May. Mike Allen has a date of August 12th where he's retiring, and then Kim Daniels will leave sometime in September. So all that being said, we'll find 2 more names. You might have seen it on Facebook. We put another promotion process together. And then by the end of the year, hopefully we'll be at 55.
Where are we at when you came here, Chief Rush, on manpower?
So I came in 10 years ago in '09, and we'd hired 2 about the same time. They had already approved 2, so that put us at 40. So 15 in 10 years. like Chief Reed said, we're really just ramping up right now for Colts Camp, getting the plans together for that. It's gonna look similar to last year. I've actually been able to, with some negotiation with the Colts, I backed off it in certain days, a person or two. We were like Lot D, anybody that was out there, I know you spent some time out there. Lot D was not fun for volunteers, it wasn't fun for the Colts, and quite frankly, it was a gift from us to manage Lot D. Lot D is where the Colts parked. By our MOU, after looking through that, we decided that was on the Colts and we're gonna let them have it. Particularly because during practice time, they've got this idea of opening the field up, which would be great for the fans, it really will. It's a headache for public safety, but they're gonna make it standing room only, just about all the way around the field.
Oh, wow.
Which creates just more opportunities for more volunteers and more police officers on the field during practice time.
Yeah.
So we had to pull some people from other places to do that. So, but like I said, since we had the plan already from last year, it wasn't too hard to put the plan together for this year. But it is a challenge for a smaller department to manage that because, you know, we're probably looking at 6 to 8 officers per day out there.
All the other stuff didn't go away.
No, no.
Right.
Then we also have 4th of July coming up. I can't believe it's already that time. And we'll have the majority of our officers out there that, at some point during that day. And then the other big thing that we're working on right now is really just 2020 budget, just trying to pencil that out and see what it looks like. And so that's what we're gonna go on.
Good deal. Kate? All right, thank you. Jeremy?
And we are trying to survive the flood, building things all over. We do have several roads closed, one being ditch, one being town. 193rd in the vicinity of Spring Mill is closed. All 4 road construction projects. It wasn't by design that they were all closed at the same time, but we have been delayed and had obstacles and are pushing up against the edge of construction season. So ditch is by design intended to be opened to back up by the time school starts with a signal. At the next council meeting, there will be a interlocal agreement with NDOT. They're going to contribute $200,000 to our project to cover the cost of that signal. So they're just going to give us the money. We're going to build it so that way it opens up appropriately. Monon Bridge over State Road 32 is going very well. Second half of July, so mid-July to the end, you'll see the bridge spans going up. That has also been delayed a few weeks because of the rain.
Well, we got a little ahead over the winter though. So.
We did. We had a really good winter, so we're still on schedule to open by October. Mr. Pierce down here is building the trail out at Grand Park for better access to Colt City and all the other events that we have out there at Grand Park. He spent a significant amount of time working on the relocation of Colt City, which is the kid zone area. It will not get constructed this year, but it will for next year move into this grassy area. So currently it'll be on the fields on the other side of the woods. They wanted to get that closer together, so they'll have their blow up things and cheerleaders and all that stuff on an asphalt pad right there, and then they'll use the adjacent fields for Place 60. So it'll help hopefully public safety have a better, tighter leash on everything, and then the Colts will have more direct access to everything. So that was intended to be constructed this year. We ran into some contract differences with the Colts, so ran out of time. We're going to do it next year. Other than that, it's regular maintenance. The wet spring has made tree trimming and mowing a top priority for line of sight, and otherwise it's great for the trees. They grow really fast, and so does the grass, a lot faster than we can maintain them. So there's a big emphasis on that right now. Resurfacing should start here after the July 4th holiday. has also been pushed back for rain. We didn't want to open it up right before the holiday. So we're gonna wait until after that.
One suggestion I made to the comms team is that the month or the weekly newsletter, that we talk about how roads are selected for resurfacing, the process by
Yeah.
which,
Sure.
because I think that that's important for people to understand that there's some science behind
Absolutely. Yeah.
the roads that are selected.
I'll talk to Sarah. We have a
Put
whole lot.
together an
Yeah.
infographic or
We
something
could
like
get
that about Paisley ratings.
Dustin Shu on video and have him do video.
Isn't it who leaves money in an envelope?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I just think that would help. I just think that might
No, I
help
agree.
people understand. An infographic is a great idea, but whatever. However you guys think you can get that out.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. A public education type thing for
Right.
the process, because it
You're
is
gonna
truly
see
a
this,
process.
and why is it on this street and
Yeah.
not on yours? Here's why.
Yeah, okay, that's good advice, and we'll work with communications and get that done. Other than that, do you see,
More than the other people.
do you have any other questions or see anything? Our parks, when it's nice outside, are extremely busy. So we got all the new turf in.
The water park with all the new,
Yep.
everything, is that running along?
It is going really, really well, except for when Duke loses power in that whole area. So they have a substation over on Oak Ridge Road that has been dropping out.
That's only happened the last 2 Thursdays in a row, Jeremy. There's no indication it'll happen again this Thursday.
Well, the most interesting part to me is that I think they call us because the splash park shuts off before they, like the people that have houses without power call Duke. So we are reaching out to Duke to see if there is something we can do to either have a better communication line there. If they are doing maintenance on the station and taking it down, we'd like to know so that we can let the parks users know. But it's busy, busy, busy out there all the time. So
To be fair to Duke, last Thursday, there was a pole on fire. Down by.
no, they've had a rough spring just like we had.
So what was the week before? Was it a squirrel again, or what?
I think so. I think a squirrel, and then you would be
I
amazed.
suggest
at
we
how
put
much
predators inside the transformer area to
Put a little
control the
badger in there or
rodents.
something.
Maybe a honey badger, possibly coyotes.
I saw an article that a slug took down a high-speed train in Japan. So
A slug.
like a 2-inch
Yeah.
slug got into an electrical panel on a high-speed train in Japan. So it can happen.
Squirrels tend to be a recurring thing.
Yep.
Andy used to joke about it. 5 years ago, it's not funny anymore
No, it's not.
when your business shuts down. So.
But other than that, everything's going really, really well, and we are pushing forward.
Sounds good.
Okay. Any other business? Hearing none, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 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 Opposed?